Okay, so it's July 2nd. It is 7:07 a.m. Joe Giddens, Stoner Red Rock New with Dick over at the U.S. Forest Service. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning, Joe. Give you a little update on the pocket fire. It's 20,680 acres with 1,054 personnel and 21% contained. And that acreage increase is in large part due to fire activity yesterday. Kicked off about 2 in the afternoon and got into some alignment with Secret Canyon and moved um, pretty rapidly to the west, and then wrapped around the fire and moved north and burned into our area that we had burnt out on the 539 road. So we caught it up top there. It's moving west and away from Sedona, but it came up to the top of Maroon Mountain, and that's where it's established this morning on that southern corner. Uh, Last night we did a little burning operation that took the fire on top further to the west in case this thing wants to move that direction again. We can expect very similar fire behavior today, and it's mainly terrain driven. We have a southwest wind, but it's just not strong enough to keep it out of that terrain driven wind. So what I mean by terrain driven is if it gets established in the bottom of a canyon, much like it did last Saturday at the bottom of Bear Sign, it'll use those canyons that go to the top of the rim and move those up rather rapidly. Like I said yesterday, it moved, it actually aligned and actually moved west. So that terrain wind actually was a wind out of the east based on the canyon alignment. Then it turned and went north up towards the rim. So we can expect that again today. We still have West Fork is still a large area of concern, but we're keeping ahead of that with small little check lines on top, and if we have to, burning out the edge. So if it does run up to the top, we can catch it. We're going to continue doing that. That's both north and south side of West Fork, and supporting those operations with aircraft as well as aircraft on the bottom portion of the fire and on that southwestern corner. Um, our crews are in that burning operation. We're going to be obviously mopping that up and keeping that edge cool. The stuff we burnt yesterday along the 231 road, to keep it from coming out of the west side of West Fork and turning and going towards Flagstaff. That's all holding, and they're getting that all mopped up. Looking really good on the top again, along where we have the containment along the 535, 536 road. Still looking good on that little finger that sticks out to the southeast where the fire started along the 231 road. That's looking really good. We did have some crews down below the rim, in near the fire edge, and they're keeping that from basically Bear Sign back to the east. They're actually putting in containment features there to keep it from coming down and then going towards Oak Creek Canyon in a canyon alignment. So that's looking really good. The fire's moving where we think it's going to on that bottom. It's just using that available fuel that we have no recorded fire history in for 100 years. So it's going to continue to work that way. But boy, it sure got big and ugly looking yesterday afternoon. But that's moving away from Sedona, moving to the west. We did add an additional large helicopter today, so we're going to be, again, aviation's keeping stuff in check while our hand crews are keeping stuff in check as well. So another busy day. Weather's going to be stable for the next couple 3 days, so we're looking at um, same kind of potential for any kind of fire behavior. Terrain alignment, upslope it, during the day as hot air rises, and it takes that fire uphill, and then at night get cold air starts sinking and it slowly will back it down the mountain. So that's also influencing where our smoke's going. At night it's coming off the fire and sinking into those low areas such as Sedona. But as soon as we get some heating, it lifts that out of there and then starts moving that smoke north over Flagstaff. My house this morning in Flagstaff this morning was clear, but I could it looks like just where the smoke is now, just looking up north, it's probably smoky back in town again. So that's just we get that diurnal smoke change based on that wind. That transport wind, southwest winds will actually move that smoke north into Flagstaff, and there's actually an advantage that over the fire is it's actually cooling our fire, so limiting the kind of moderating that fire behavior in that West Fork Canyon, which is a good thing. When we get that direct sunlight on the south side of the fire, it gets real active, as you saw yesterday.
One of the common friends I keep hearing during this fire is how it's bringing in areas that haven't had fire go through in 100 plus years. So, with that in mind, is the overriding goal with the pocket fire to put it out as soon as possible, or do you see some opportunities now that you have 20% containment to turn parts of this into a bit of a controlled burn to reduce
No,
fumes?
no, we want to put this thing out, but it's just the where it's going in the west, we just can't engage it. But it is going to be burning into the Raphael fire, so that's going to be that should moderate the how this fire moves as well. And that stuff that's 100 years old, just very, very a lot of available fuel into the Raphael fire. That's going to slow it down. There's going to be down logs in there, but they don't move very fast. They just spot gets in it, it burns. Then it throws another spot, it burns. But when you have continuous fuels, that's when you get that rapid spread. So moving it towards the Raphael fire is using very similar to what we've got on that slide fire side is just young fuels that just aren't as conducive to burning. That doesn't mean they won't, but they're just not as conducive as that stuff that's just 100 years old and that has, part of that 100 years old has a large dead component mixed in with it, and that really gets stuff going. And then the height of the fuel is it's much larger and just much more robust, ready to burn.
Yeah. Dick, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, man. Oh, just a reminder of the public meeting tonight at Red Rock High School, 7 o'clock tonight. Hope to see you guys there.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Joe. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.